It's almost as if like, I mean, I'm sure I probably heard this somewhere, but like COVID kind of just like wore us down to, and this past year has been so crazy that like, there's the Pentagon's saying that there's aliens, and the government saying, yeah. We're so desensitized by it. It's almost like, yeah, it's a kind of perfect timing. And it almost, I mean, you did say yourself, like, this is very deliberate. It does make sense. There is no mass panic, which is great.
Right.
Like everybody that's been into this stuff, like everybody probably listening to the show, man, we'd be fine. But back, circle back to the masses. Yeah. If they one day abruptly heard about it, saying, the government says that there are things in the skies that we have no idea where they come from or the technology that they use to do the things they do, people would freak out. Like, and it makes sense.
They're like, no, it's cool. I can stay inside.
I can stay inside.
I think you said it correctly, that there's this battle fatigue. People have been so overstimulated with COVID and a new election, a new administration, and all sorts of crisis du jour, that people are just kind of like, meh, which, is maybe not a bad thing.
Lonesome Space Cowboy asks, I just have one question, pretty subjective, but I'd like to hear his take. If the general public knew and saw what Lewis knows and has seen, what would the world look like for the next week after that? How would the public react? So this is, you can surmise.
Wow. What a thoughtful question. Boy, I have no idea, Kurt. That's I would need to think about that.
Okay, we can get back to that question.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a good question. I don't want to just throw out an answer.
Right.
I want to think about that, and I might need even a little bit more time. I will for sure get back to you on that, but that's going to take some thought.
Some Space Cowboy, remember that last question that you couldn't get to, which was, if the general public knew or saw what you saw, what would the next week look like? How would the public react?
Somber. I think there would be this big exhale for about a day. And then this turning inward and trying to reflect on what this means to us and our species and ourselves. I think
somber, like a sigh of relief.
Somber meaning serious, not like Hollywood portrays people partying in the streets and silliness like that. I think you would have some people perhaps turning to religion more so. You might have some people turning away from religion. I think you're going to have, at that point, the philosophical and theological questions will be raised, and people will have some serious soul searching to do, no pun intended. And I don't think that's bad, by the way. I think a lot of folks that have spent their times in this community being charlatans will have been exposed, and they will be probably unemployed and probably have to change their names because, the rest of society will look at them in an unfavorable light. I think there are some unsung heroes that will probably come to light, and the world will appreciate their contributions to this topic. I think the scientific community and academic communities, no, I can't give those names.
I know what I was going to say is names that have been announced before when you say the unsung heroes, or new names.
Yeah, names that haven't been announced before.
Okay.
I think the scientific and academic community is going to have to take a real hard look at itself and see why it repeated the same mistakes it did when Galileo first proposed that the Earth was not the center of the solar system. Hubris is a big part of that. And then I think, maybe we start the international conversation, say, okay, we realize that there's some things out there that are probably well beyond our petty discrepancies we have with each other. Maybe we really need to start working together on this. Realize that we are really a global family. Doesn't matter where you're from, or it doesn't matter what your religion is, or your culture, or your color, or anything else. We are all brothers and sisters on this tiny little rock called Earth. This pale blue dot that's hurtling through space.
It may unify us.
Well, I would certainly hope so, unless we allow our poor nature to interfere, and we look at this as opportunities to subjugate each other. I would hope that's not the case.